This is geometry, working on compositions. The first thing we're going to notice is this particular note sheet, these are the wrong points. We're not working with those points, so we can cross those off, C and D. I have different figures for this worksheet. What we're going to do is take our figure and we're going to apply two different transformations to it. So you take your original figure, you apply the translation, and that'll give you your prime locations. Then we're going to take that and do a reflection. So you start out with the first one. Take your BC, segment BC, and follow this translation rule. We notice that our x's are staying the same and our y's are being increased by 3. So you take your b and you stay the same for the x, but you increase by 3 for the y. So that's b prime. So we take our c, we increase the y by 3 because the x is going to stay the same. And that becomes b prime, c prime. So I'm going to take my b and c and connect those. So we have b prime, c prime. Now we're going to take b prime, c prime, and we're going to apply this rule to it. What's the reflection rule for being over the x-axis? So there's two ways we can do this. Way number one is to know what the rule is, know what your coordinates are, and apply that rule. The other thing that we can do is to just count the distance that it takes to get to the x-axis. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I counted how far it took b prime. I'm taking my new image and I'm going to count the distance it takes me to get to my x-axis. And that was 7. So I'm going to go 7 past it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's going to be b double prime, because that's our second image for this particular question. We take c prime and we count 1, 2, 3 to get to our x-axis and go 1, 2, 3 past our x-axis. And that gives us c double prime. And I use my ID, and I come over, and I connect them. There we go. You have done your prime, and then you've done your double prime for your figure. So we slide over to question number 2, and we notice that we have a triangle for this one, triangle ABC. There are 3 transformations that we're doing. We're going to do a translation, a reflection, and a rotation. It's going to look really messy in here. You've got to keep it organized. We're going to do one of each. We're going to plot them all out. They'll all be on top of each other. But go ahead and give this one a try. So pause the video. Work on your 3 transformations, and then I'll walk you through that when you're done. All right, we've come back. Hopefully you've tried yours. You can just kind of watch what I'm doing now and see if it mimics what you did. We're going to take our A, B, and C, and we're going to move them all 4 to the right and 2 down. So I take my A and move 4 to the right and 2 down, and that's my A prime. Take my B, 4 to the right and 2 down. Take my C, 4 to the right, and 2 down. Notice that my original figure has my A right above my C. Well, my image for a translation is going to be exactly the same. The A is going to be above the C. The A prime is above the C prime. So there it is. That's your translation. So if you like to shade that in, you might shade it in lightly. Okay. There's that figure. Now we're going to reflect over the line y equals negative x. Well, there's two ways we can do this. We can use the rule y equals negative x. So we switch them and we turn them both negative. Alright, we switch them and turn them both negative. I had to think about that one for a second. There it is. That's the rule. Now, if you want to go ahead and find these coordinates on where they're at, A prime is 2, 2. B prime is 3 to the left and 2 up. 3 to the left and 2 up. C prime is 2 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 8 down. That's 2 to the right and 8 down. Now we can apply our rule of switching them and changing the sign. So A double prime is going to become, switch them, they're 2, 2, so it still looks the same, and change both their signs. B double prime is going to be switch them and change both their signs. And C double prime is going to be switch them and change both their signs. We can plot those out now. So we go to negative 2, down 2. That's my A double prime. 2 to the left, up 3. That's my B double prime. And then 8 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and up 2. Oh, down 2. Shucks. 1, 2. That's my C double prime. Use my straight edge if I need it. So I can kind of shade in that figure. A little bit easier to see when it's shaded in. But you notice they're kind of falling over each other. That's one way to do it. The other way to have done it would have been to draw in the dashed line that goes for y equals negative x, which is over 1 down 1, over 1 down 1, over 1 down 1, over 1 down 1. That's the line y equals negative x. You're welcome to do that. And then to have counted 1 diagonal, 2 diagonals, you need to go 2 past it. 1 diagonal, 2 diagonals, 3 diagonals, so I have to go 1 diagonal, 2 diagonals, 3 diagonals, plot. Alright, it's going to work out great. Alright, this one right here is actually a single prime, I think. I think I have that one labeled wrong. This is a single prime because it was just the translation. So you probably noticed that earlier that I didn't have that labeled right. Okay, so what do we have to do next? We have a 90-degree rotation to do next. So 2 different ways we can do it. One, you can know the rule. 90-degree rotation. What's my rule going to be? Somebody know your rule? You can look it up. It's on yesterday's homework. Correct. We switch the signs and make it negative on the left is your 90-degree rotation. So if you know your coordinates, which are right here, this makes it pretty easy because you already have them. Your A triple prime is going to be to switch the signs and change the sign on the left. Your B triple prime is going to be to change the order and change the sign in front. C triple prime is going to be to change the order and change the sign in front. You did it. The other way to do it, can somebody tell me the other way to do it? Rotate your paper. So we rotate it 90 degrees, and that's the answer we're looking for, wherever that blue is located. A looks like to be 2 right and 2 down. 2 to the right and 2 down. B looks to be 3 to the left and 2 down. That's what this says. And then C looks like it is 2 to the right and 8 up. And that's what we've got. So we're going to plot those points. 2 to the right and 2 down. 3 to the left and 2 down. And then 2 to the right and 8 up. Remember, you're counting always from the origin, not from the latest point. 2 to the right and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11 lines going down. That's why this looks different. But, all right. So this became our C triple prime. This became our A triple prime. And this became our B triple prime. There it is, all colored in and pretty. Last one. Last one. You think about the rules. What rule is it to get triangle ABC to become triangle A prime, B prime, C prime? And you may notice that our next one here, if the original shape was a right angle and the image was a right angle, this double image has to be a right angle, and that has to be the eighth. So I actually have them in the wrong order here. So before we get into this one, make that an A and that a B. Okay, so it's A double prime, B double prime. Now we're able to do this question. So write out your two rules. The rule that takes this ABC triangle to become A prime, B prime, C prime, and then what do you think we need to do to get A prime, B prime, C prime to become double prime? Pause the video, give it a try, and then come on back. Okay, we're back. We're going to discuss how we work with A becoming A prime, B becoming B prime, and C becoming C prime. One thing we can do is take a piece of tracing paper and plot our points right on there. We could even connect them if we would really like to. And if you notice, if you slide it over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to the right, and up 1, 2. They land exactly, every point lands on it. I went 10 to the right and up 2. So my first rule, x comma y, my first rule is going to be the x's are adding 10 and the y's are adding 2. So our next step is to figure out how we can get here. So you got to run some thoughts through your head. Does that look like it's some sort of translation over and down of some sort to get over here? No, I can't get that side without going like this. So that might be too obvious. Maybe it's some sort of fold. Maybe it's a fold down or fold like that or fold like this. That would be a reflection if it's a fold, but that doesn't seem to be working. Let's take a look at this one. If I make my XY axes so I really keep my spots balanced, okay? If I rotate it 90 degrees, I'm going to land there. If I rotate it 180 degrees, I'm going to land there. If I rotate 270 degrees, I'm going to land right there. Right on it. So, exactly there. If you don't have tracing paper, you try to do the visual of that was 90, that was 180, and that was 270. There it is, right where that option, that final piece was. So I'm taking my x, my current x and y, kind of my primes, and I am going to do 270 degree rotation. So to do a 270 degree rotation, I have to switch my x and the y, and I change the sign on the right. That's the rule. So these are the two rules that you're applying. We have a translation and we have a rotation of 270 degrees.